It's easy to hear your favorite artist on WFPK from wherever you are. Listen on your smart speaker, live stream from our website at WFPK.org, from Louisville Public Media.
Consequence Podcast Network. Hey, it's Kyle Meredith, and welcome to this bonus edition of Kyle Meredith with the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for checking out the series, making your way here in the episode. I do hope you hit the subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, a new one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at all the usual spots like iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, Podchaser, NPR, YouTube for the video versions, or anywhere you get your podcasts from. I'm Kyle Meredith, and as I mentioned, today is a bonus edition as I'm looking back through my vaults and finding some of the old interviews that really just never made it to the web, never got digitized. And today we're going to go back in time to 2012. It's when Alabama Shakes had just arrived on the national scene behind their debut album, Boys and Girls. They were stopping into Louisville to the WFPK studios. It was their very first time in Louisville. They were playing that night at the Brown Theater, and the band dropped by to talk just about their sudden success. It was a brief talk, sort of an in and out type of thing, but it was just so interesting to see them in that place and time when you knew, like, it's happening. Here's a band who put in the time, who put in the work, crafting their songs, finding their audience, and it was one of those things where, you know, well, a lot of the times you hear about bands through press releases, you hear about bands through record labels or TV or whatever, but this is one of the times we heard about the band from the people on the street when we would just go to concerts. WFPK listeners would be coming up going, have you heard of this band, Alabama Shakes? You've got to check them out. So sure enough, once that first album landed, we were like, the rest of you all, oh my God, this is so good. So that's just a little bit of the context of them in the studio. Like I said, sort of a quick in and out with this interview, but I wanted to include it here because it was such a fun, interesting place and time. Kyle Meredith with Brittany Howard and Alabama Shakes. It's Kyle Meredith back here in the WFPK Performance Studio. Honored and privileged to have Alabama Shakes here today.
Thank you for having us today.
Welcome to Louisville. Finally, it's good to have you here. I even think somebody in the band has a local tie somehow, because there's a family member that calls all the time and requests you every single hour. So.
You gotta be Steve.
Yeah. So it is good. Alabama Shakes are playing tonight at the Brown Theater right here in Derby City. Boys and Girls is the new record. It's been a year all about success for you guys, and it's been so cool to watch, to hear how people would request you even long before you had a CD. People were calling, and I think that was happening all over the country. But it has all the interviews and everything. It feels like, you know, the music is its own thing, and then people love to talk about your success and your rise and how it happened. Has it been everything you expected? Have all your dreams come true at this point?
It's been surreal.
I bet it has been. It was so interesting. Before we'd even heard of you guys, before we knew there was an Alabama Shakes, there were all of these calls coming in, and I heard this was happening all over the country just based on this live show that you guys were doing, which was impressive. As time went on, the interesting comment that started being made is, I saw them back in the day, they were really good. I saw them last week at such and such festival, and they were mind-blowingly great. Like, to actually start on this pedestal of really good, you know, to have that kind of buzz to come through. But whatever you guys have turned into has really been a big thing to kind of experience for people. And has it been just gaining confidence? Have you been working that out, you know, on the stage, just gaining confidence playing the shows? Or have you been getting tips from anybody along the way on how to do it?
I think we've probably just been getting a lot of practice. And we've been getting tired of playing all these shows and touring together. And I think maybe that's why we're getting better. I hope we're getting better, not getting worse. We have monitors now, and we have a sound man, and he helps us out, which is actually a luxury, and I don't take that for granted, because when we do festivals, sometimes you don't get those things, and you remember real quick. You remember real quick what it was like not to have them. So.
See, your dreams are being realized right there, even in the small things. Watching you guys, just the way you transform a song, the way you've taken it from, its beginnings, you put it on the record, and now whatever it's becoming. But all of you all seem to lose yourself up there on stage, which has got to be something really, I don't know, is it hard to do? Is it hard to lose yourself in a song, playing the same song night after night after night and still finding the soul of it to be able to escape into?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the players, Ben and myself and Heath and Zach and Steve. I think when one of us is really in the groove, it makes us feel better. Mm-hmm. And that's where you find it. It's like, wow, Heath is playing hot tonight, and then I'm just looking at Heath like, dude, and it makes me feel better, and I get lost in that moment, and we have our own little thing like that, so we all help each other do that.
And when you're in that, is there ever this conscious thing to say, I still got to work the crowd, though, that I can't just be right here? Because, Brittany, even that you're up there and there's hand signals going on and you're connecting with everybody, it seems like, but, to turn around and any one of you, it looks like, that moment when you just throw your head back and you're right there. But you've still got to work it both ways, I guess.
I think they're not really separate things.
No.
It's a big thing. Well, it's just like it ever was. This is us, and this is what we do, and people are watching. And so we're just going to do what we do. Yeah. And if the people start getting into it, well, then they become part of it, and then it's the same thing. So that's kind of what happens. And that's I always like those shows when it turns out like that.
Some artists do look at, what you do on the record and what you do on the stage as two entirely separate things. One's a job. Some people just hit the road because it's the paycheck. Some people hit the road because it's an extension of what you can do with the record. Where do you fall in that?
Well, we like songwriting. We like the production of making a record. And we like playing our instruments. We like playing together, and we like playing live. We like all that stuff. It's, I guess that's what being a group is about. You just go out and write these songs and try them out on people, and that's fun. And that's what we get to do now, so it's pretty great. Yeah,
but it didn't sound like there's any real separation there. It's like just because it was a song on a record doesn't mean it's entirely...
Well, you have to remember when we recorded this record, it was really like just for us. Like we wanted to have an album, and we weren't playing very, very much. We were playing like little dive bars and stuff, and we had these songs, and some of these songs were extremely new, and some of these songs we would track like 5 of them in one night on this record. And we just went in there, and it was fun. It was like a project. It was like, oh, let's make the snare drum sound like this, and let's just, we didn't expect anybody to listen to it. And so, of course, we're still working out songs and stuff, but I don't know, I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything for what it is and the time we were in.
Yeah, it actually sounds like it's the opposite way for you guys then, that the album is really just an extension of live. You're just playing together at all.
Sure, so, yeah, that's what it is. We're just playing together and hit record and then go back and try to fix a few things that went terribly wrong, but we left a lot of the bad things in there.
Well, that's great, though. I mean, who does that, It's so easy just to gloss it all over and to go along with it. But
no, we just did several hundred takes sometimes in a night, so they're very, very real.
Are you looking ahead already to the next one, to the next record, new songs, all that?
Yeah, sure, always. The game plan, I guess, is just to write whenever we can, wherever we are, and when we have enough material, we'll just show up in the studio and record it, probably. That's
No, I like your flow.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
Pretty simple, yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's Alabama Shakes here on 91.9 WFPK Radio Louisville. Once again, Brown Theater tonight. Get the details at WFPK.org. Once again, thank you all for stopping in today. I can't wait to see you guys tonight.
Thank you very much. We're excited to play.
And my thanks to Brittany Howard and Alabama Shakes back in 2012. Cannot wait to see what Brittany's up to next. Her of course, solo record that came out just a couple years ago was exactly as good as we hoped it would be. She is such an amazing, interesting artist. Big thanks to you as well for checking out the episode. Do hit the subscribe button before you get out of here so you can keep up with all the interviews that I put out. A new one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, at iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, Podchaser, NPR, YouTube for the video versions, or anywhere you get your podcasts from. Subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. Then after that, head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews. That's Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all 3 of them at Kyle Meredith. I do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.
Consequence Podcast Network.
It's easy to hear your favorite artist on WFPK from wherever you are. Listen on your smart speaker, live stream from our website at WFPK.org, from Louisville Public Media.